What is up, folks? All right, Ace Chapman here. So, had a great lunch today with a friend as well as somebody that I'm looking to do some business with, and it's a guy who runs a really amazing Facebook marketing firm, and doing just hundreds of thousands of dollars each month in ad spend, millions of dollars in actual sales. Just he's killing it. It's a really cool business. I love agencies because I'm able to partner with some of them. Sometimes they have people that want to sell their businesses. Sometimes they have businesses that have a lot of potential. They're looking for a equity partner. And other times there are just folks who are just looking for advice and that kind of thing that maybe we don't want to buy, but we may have a strategic buyer that wants to pay the kind of multiples that they're interested in receiving. So today we're having a conversation, and this is somebody who is a good guy, has a good heart. And he's like, man, it's really tough for me because it's becoming a industry standard in the space to look at prospectuses from all the businesses that are on the market and begin to copy those businesses, whether it's copying how they get traffic, copying how they, what products that they're selling, who they're targeting, all those things. And he's like, man, is that something that I should feel bad about? Like, what are your feelings when it comes to this? And the truth is, I told him, it's like, dude, you like that is the industry standard. If you want to be able to compete in the other world that I'm not in the other world, it is just a standard now that in that world, if you want to be able to compete, and we're in a capitalistic time, and there are other people who are willing to give you all of the information on their business. They're willing to tell you the products that they're selling, where they're sourcing them, how they're marketing, who they're marketing to, what their demographics are, their Google Analytics. If they're willing to share all of that with you, you literally would be dumb and you're at a disadvantage. If your competitors going out and getting that stuff and you're not getting it, you put yourself at a huge disadvantage. And it's also the reason that as people that are in private equity, we just don't do those deals. If a prospectus is being shared around, it is the absolute worst deal that you can do. And I'm constantly reminded of this by real life conversations that I have when I have conversations with people and they're telling me like, oh, like I don't need to buy a business because there are all these brokers that will just send me all of the information that that is out there that about their business. And I start business all the time. I can literally, this is the blueprint for me to be able to duplicate what that business is doing. And like this is capital. Like I can't blame them for doing that. And I quite honestly told him, it's like if somebody's dumb enough to buy a business that where they received the information and they saw everything and they still think, oh, this is a great deal, even though this same information has been shared with everybody without any kind of need for anything, then those people just don't deserve to win. It's just like the person who today thinks, oh, I'm going to spend my whole marketing budget on TV, or like, it's just like making any dumb business move. So if you're making dumb business moves, you shouldn't be rewarded for that. And it's just the way capitalism works. It's the way evolution works. And it's like, hey, get those people out of the way. And it's unfortunate because I know people that make that dumb mistake and they put $200,000-$300,000 into a business where that business information has been shared with 100 other people, And it took me a while to learn that lesson, but I learned it. I'm glad I learned it. And I'm grateful for those deals that went bad. When I bought something that was on the market, that had a prospectus that was sent to all these other people. And I realized after buying it, a month goes by and there are like two other competitors that have same similar copy, similar website template, same product. It's like, wait a minute, like, and then 2 months back, 2 more months pass, and there are three more competitors, and now I'm splitting 20% of the business that I paid for that these other people have 80% of, and they are getting that market. I mean, so you just have to be very unsmart to buy and it's really at the point now where I know I talk a lot about the benefits of buying a business, but if you're somebody who's buying a business where the prospectus has been shared with other people, you are worse off. Like you should not be in this place. You should just go start and take the risk of you're better off taking the risk of a 90% failure rate and starting something that at least nobody else knows about than you are taking the guaranteed risk that you are now competing with 20 other people that know your exact business model, they know your exact market. Like it's the dumbest thing that you can do. And I feel bad for people that watch some of my other videos and don't watch the videos that are important like this. And they think, oh, I'm just going to go and I'm going to buy a business that's sitting out there and where it's been advertised exactly the strategy that business is doing. And so I look back at how this compares to what private equity funds do. And they don't even go to broke. And this is offline. Now you compare offline to online. And I think about even going back, man, 15 years when I first started getting contacted by private equity funds. So you look at an offline business. Private equity funds understand even beyond the idea that somebody is going to get a prospectus where they're going to be able to duplicate that business in an instance. When you compare offline to online, especially something like FBA, so you take an offline business, and the offline business, if you want to copy that business, you've got to do a ton of work. You've got to do a lot of, figuring out where the location, if you can get a location right across the street, you got to hire employees, you got to do build out, you got to buy equipment. All those things have to be done before you can compete with the offline business just based on the fact that it's on the market. But in addition to that, if it's off market, you're going to get a better deal. So you go over to FBA, where literally, if the business, what they're doing on an SEO effort, you can buy the same product or build the same product. You can also have an equal opportunity to have the same listing. You can use the similar keywords and SEO that's in the other listing. And voila, you are now in business. But even without that, private equity firms take very seriously the fact that we need to get our own proprietary deal flow. We've got to figure out where to get deals. And it's interesting. 15 years ago, I was being contacted by private equity funds. Here I was, a kid, I'm like 20 something years old. And these private equity funds are finding out about me by doing something that people don't even think about today, which is like before the internet, you had to do real life networking. There weren't, online social networks. So these people were finding out about me by calling around. They actually had something called a phone book. And they were using these phone books and just calling people. And, I was in Tennessee and they would talk to somebody else and like, oh, you know anybody that's buying or selling businesses? And, they'd be like, I think there's this kid in Chattanooga. And then they would get my phone number and we would talk and I might connect them with somebody else. And so you were building your own network of deal flow and doing that work. And it's one of the things that we train people to do today because it's even more valuable in a time where everybody's focused on social network. To do the real network, to create your own proprietary deal flow is actually easier, more powerful than ever because nobody wants to pick up the phone. I was telling somebody the other day, if it's not business, if somebody like calls me out of the blue and it's just like to chat, it is a very weird thing. So to be able to use those strategies is really powerful. If you're looking to get into private equity, it's not just powerful. It's not just cool. It's not just, oh, how do I get my own deal flow? It is absolutely necessary, to the point that I would tell you, if you're not in this to create your own deal flow, you really should just start a business from scratch. Never given that advice ever before on this channel, but the more that I talk to people today, it's becoming more and more just standard practice, which is it just, this space wasn't getting as much notoriety. But the more there are other people that are talking about buying businesses and talking about what you can do, and more people that are looking at prospectuses, and more people are looking at them and just saying, oh, I can duplicate this. So if you're looking at doing an offline deal or online deal, this is absolutely crucial. Private equity funds don't want to even do it if it's an offline business. So you shouldn't be doing it, especially on internet businesses. And, this is honestly just so that more people don't get hurt in this space, because it's something that I really care about. And I know that I've been one of the people that has been at the forefront saying, "Oh, buy businesses, buy businesses, buy businesses." But if you can't create your own deal flow, if you're not going out there and getting deal flow that's off market, you might as well start a business from scratch. You're much better off. You're going to have less competitors, and it in this day and time, the number of people that are taking these prospectuses and copying those businesses, it's just over for people who want to do deals the easy way. Hopefully, this is valuable for you guys. Hit subscribe. If so, feel free to leave a comment. Let me know your questions. Thanks for watching the video.